Hey YouTube, hey Bold and the Beautiful fans, get ready for another action-packed week in LA when Steffy, Finn, Electra, and Will come up with a plan against Luna. They're going to set a trap for Luna, so we'll see how this all comes about. Also, Ridge is going to be in for a shock next week when Taylor proposes. Doesn't look like Ridge, though, is ready for this. So let's get into what the spoilers are telling us for the week of June 23rd to the 27th. So we see in the preview things are going to get steamy between Will and Luna next week. They're going to kiss. Oh no, what does this mean? Is Will betraying Electra? Is he giving in to the temptation that Luna has been offering? Or is there going to be a twist in the works here? In the preview, we see Luna asking Will if he broke up with Electra, and Will says, "She just doesn't excite me." Luna asks Will, "Do you like danger?" Will says, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't." So what's going on here? Could this be a daydream, a fantasy that Luna's having? We know Luna has the hots for Will, but spoilers indicate this is not a daydream or a betrayal on Will's part, but that this is part of a very clever plan. Spoilers say Steffy, Finn, and Will work together to defeat Luna. Electra is also going to be involved, and possibly Chief Baker too. Chief Baker told Luna too when she was pardoned that he'd be keeping a close eye on her, so any misstep on Luna's part could land her back in trouble. And we know Luna has also acquired a weapon. And Luna seems to have very bad intentions when it comes to Steffy. But Steffy, it looks like, is going to be able to gain the advantage now when an opportunity arises to bring down Luna. We'll have to see how all of this comes about, but we know Luna has been sending Will those text messages. Maybe Luna sends another one of those text messages to Will, and this will be the opportunity that Finn and Steffy need. It looks like they're all going to work together now to set Luna up and lure her into a trap, so look for the characters to brainstorm and devise and come up with this plan. When Will arrives over at Luna's apartment, it's going to seem to Luna that Will truly is interested in her and that he's no longer with Electra, but it's all a ploy, of course. Will, too, it looks like, is also going to plant a spy camera in Luna's apartment, and Steffy, Finn, and Electra will be watching all the action while they're at the Cliff House. And spoilers say Electra is going to be disgusted too when Will and Luna kiss, but of course this is all part of the act on Will's part, but still Electra is not going to want to see her boyfriend kissing Luna. Will, though, is going to be the bait in this clever seduction trap to bring down Luna, and they know that Will is Luna's weakness, so Steffy and Finn are going to use that to their advantage, but Will also is volunteering to do this too because he wants to protect Electra. But Will could be putting himself in danger though, so we'll see what happens. It seems like maybe they're trying to get maybe a confession out of Luna, but one way or another, whatever happens, spoilers say Luna goes on the run. We've seen Sheila on the run before, and now it's Luna's turn, so we'll see what chaos this is going to stir up and how all this comes about. Will Luna realize she's being set up? Or will Baker and the authorities move in on Luna and she'll have to slip away? And maybe she makes a mistake. Maybe she confesses something. Or will she just realize that she's in a trap and that she has to get away? We'll find out next week, and we'll have to see if Luna is still going to be that special guest too for Hayes' class. So they might be shifting away from that, but we'll see. But we saw Luna give Hayes that origami gift, and will Steffy realize that this gift was from Luna? Hayes' teacher asked Luna to be a special guest to teach the kids about origami, so will Steffy realize that Luna, that Sunshine, is actually Luna? And we'll have to see if they shift away from this story or if this is still going to happen, but we know Luna is going to be on the run next week, so stay tuned. It's going to be exciting to see how all of this unfolds. I can't wait. And over at Il Giardino, Taylor has got some plans of her own next week. Oh boy. In the preview, we see Taylor telling Ridge, "I want you to be my husband. Tell me you want that too." And Taylor has a ring. But Ridge is not looking very happy about this. He looks conflicted. So this doesn't bode well for Taylor, but this doesn't necessarily mean that Ridge is going to say no. In fact, we don't know what Ridge will say, or even if he'll give Taylor an answer right away. Taylor is proposing because she wants to know if Ridge is truly committed to her. Now that Nick is back in LA, there's reason to believe that Ridge is jealous of Nick, that his half-brother Nick is pursuing Brooke. And if that's the case, then Taylor is worried that she could lose Ridge to Brooke once again if Ridge realizes that he still does want to be with Brooke, with his Logan. Spoilers tell us, too, that some exciting events will take place in Italy, in Naples and Capri next month, and the momentum is building up for that Brooke and Ridge reunion. Whether Ridge says yes or no to Taylor's proposal, it looks like their relationship is doomed anyway. Spoilers do say Ridge answers Taylor's proposal, so it looks like he will give her an answer. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ridge says. And Nick is going to see all of this. He's going to overhear, he's going to be at Il Giardino, and he's going to listen in on Taylor and Ridge. But apparently Nick's going to leave before Ridge gives an answer to the proposal. Nick, though, is then going to go over to Brooke and tell her, and she'll be stunned when he tells her what he saw. Taylor pulled out a ring. She proposed to him, Nick will tell Brooke. What did he say? Brooke will ask. We'll find out what Ridge's answer is, but Nick is going to do everything he can to persuade Brooke to move on from Ridge, now that Ridge has seemed to have moved on with Taylor anyway, and now she's proposing. But of course, Ridge appears to be very conflicted and not very happy about all this. And spoilers say Ridge tells Brooke the truth, so what truth is Ridge going to tell her? We know Ridge doesn't want to hurt Taylor anymore after, of course, her broken heart syndrome. So if Ridge says yes to the proposal, maybe he'll tell Brooke that he is going to marry Taylor because he doesn't want to hurt Taylor ever again and put her through the broken heart syndrome and all of the pain that she's been through. We'll have to see, but at some point Nick is going to ask Brooke to come to Italy with him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here, but we know Brooke and Nick will be on a romantic adventure in Italy and Naples and Capri, and one way or another, Ridge is going to end up there, Eric too, so we'll see how all of that comes about. Will Ridge be chasing after Brooke in Italy? It looks like it. We'll see these scenes at the end of July, so that's still a ways away, and a lot's going to happen before then, so we'll get plenty more clarity on how all of this is going to play out. But something big is going to happen in Italy that's going to be a game changer. Some big event, possibly an accident, will take place that will make Ridge realize that Brooke is the only woman for him. And it's going to be great to see all of this unfold. And in the meantime, back in LA, of course, Katie tries to advise Brooke too next week. So look for the Logan sisters to have another conversation about Nick, Ridge, and Taylor. And over with Sheila too next week, she'll tell Deacon that betrayal is the Spencer way of doing things. So maybe Sheila will find out Will is meeting with Luna. And of course, we know that's all a setup, but Sheila might not know that. Also, we know Sheila is speaking of her own personal experience with Bill Spencer when she felt betrayed by Bill when he was working with Ridge and the FBI to catch Sheila into making a confession about her crimes. So we'll have to see how Sheila's conversation about the Spencers, how that all unfolds. Also, Hope is worried about Daphne coming back to LA too. Steffy wants Carter to try and convince Hope to get past everything that happened with Daphne. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Daphne returns. Will Carter be tempted? Will this end up hurting Carter and Hope's engagement? And could there be some surprises too when Daphne returns? We'll have to see. Also, Hope and Carter still don't know that Steffy and Daphne were working together. They were in cahoots to try and break Hope and Carter up. And of course, Katie found out about that when she overheard Daphne and Zende's conversation. Is this all going to come back into play again? We'll have to see. But another exciting week is on the way next week. Steffy, Finn, and company will set a trap for Luna. Luna's going to be on the run. Taylor is going to propose to Ridge. What's Ridge going to say? We'll have to find out next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have the updates coming, so keep it here. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Watch The Bold and the Beautiful, CBS Daytime and Paramount Plus, and I'll see you in the next video.